Okay, once you found your laying down spot, close your eyes and just let your arms and legs relax. Maybe a little tuck of your shoulder blades underneath your heart so your chest spreads open nicely. Try that out. And we're going to start to use the deepest breath that we can. We're calling in at the beginning of this practice our deep breathing. Finding an inhale where you're so much expanding in your torso that you just puff open. I call it the Buddha belly. Just embrace it. Big inhale. And on your exhales, think of pulling all that belly muscle down toward the ground. Compressing inward, squeezing the air out of your lungs. And we'll take a few more rounds of breath like that. Just big breath, inhaling big. And exhaling big. I want you to really close your eyes and take a moment to connect with your body. How's your body feeling today? Keep breathing deeply. Take a moment to connect with your mind and your emotions. What's that landscape looking like today? No judgment, right? And don't feel like you have to change or fix anything about what's happening on your mat right now. Just notice and be with whatever is. Checking in with that breath. How's your breath today? Some days we get a little tense. The breath becomes tight and short and shallow. Some days we're feeling more free and easy and the breath comes freely. Let's just bring in a little movement here. Okay, beginning to get a little warm. So reach out through your arms and your legs so that you're as long as you can be. Like you just woke up and you're taking a really big stretch and it feels great. Okay, one more big breath here, reaching out long. With your exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Bring your hands towards your shins. Okay, and see if you could squeeze your head towards your knees. Now, if you want to skip that part and just leave your head on the ground, then that's good too. Okay, good work either way. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale to be long. Exhale, curl your knees into your chest. Optional, curl your head up to your knees. Okay, just kind of warming up your core. Inhale, reach long. Same thing. Exhale, curl it in. We're going to take a few more, maybe a little faster. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Reach. And curl. 3 more. 3. 2. Finding a little warmth in your hips and shoulders. Last one. Okay, next time your knees come in, if your head came up to meet your knees, hold it there. If your head is down on the floor, hold it there wherever you are. Hold and breathe. Squeezing those knees in by your chest. Waking up your core. Should feel like a really good release of your low back, kind of pressing into the floor. Just a little core activation for your morning time. One more big breath. And we're going to let it go. Okay, dropping those feet back to the floor, dropping that head if you had it up. And let's get the hands down on the floor by your hips. Okay, a nice little bridge pose. So let's set up. Very important that we have an engaged lower body in your bridges. So put a slight engagement between your knees, like you're putting a tennis ball between them and you don't want to drop it. And then your 2 legs are going to squeeze together. They're about hip width. Okay, keep that little space as you squeeze them together. And let's go. Gonna Roll those hips all the way up, just as high as you want to bring them. And roll them all the way down. Think of snaking your spine, very snaky spine. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now keep that tennis ball between your knees, okay? Don't drop it. Inhale up. Imaginary tennis ball. Exhale down. Come on up. Maybe you want to use your arms here. When your hips come down, sweep your arms up overhead, little arm movement. When your hips go up, take your arms down. Nice. Keep breathing and moving. And you know what? If you mix up the breath or the arms, that's not a problem. You just invented something new. Maybe 3 more bridges, just like this. Strong in your lower body. 2 more. Snaky spine up, snaky spine down. Okay, 1 more. Come on up, and I want to hold up here. I want to just enjoy this and kind of let your lower body, the glutes and hamstrings warm up a bit. Hold and breathe. So pushing down into the floor, pull those knees inward. Put some space between your chin and your chest, of course. Okay, feeling those legs wake up. Maybe 1 more big breath in here. Maybe you push down into those feet, pull the knees inward a little more. Let's roll down really slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. Okay, snaky spine, rolling down. Let's go. Keep breathing, rolling down. Right. Once your hips land, take your feet wide. I like to step them as far apart as the edges of my mat and just drop those knees side to side. Okay, should feel good. Little windshield wipers. All right, team. Let's get a little warmer. Go ahead and next time you come back through center, those knees point up, just pause them there. Pause your windshield wipers and bring the knees a little closer to you so you can tuck your hands behind them. And we're going to take some playful rocks and rolls up and down. So don't take it too seriously. We're just gonna rock it up to a seat and roll it down to the floor. Just a few times like that, nice and controlled. Rock it up and roll it down. Should feel kind of good on the floor, okay? Maybe 3 more. See if you can come up and kind of balance in a boat pose for these last 2. And for this last one, I'm actually gonna meet you in that boat pose. So come on up to your boat pose and hold it right there. So keep in mind, boat has many flavors available for you. You can drop those feet, still call it a boat. Grab your hands behind your knees, it's still a boat. You can also lift your feet and reach your hands for them. So all those flavors are all boat. Pick the one that you like the best. No matter what variation of boat you're in, I do want the angle between your spine and your femurs, your thigh bones, to be about a right angle. I want your belly muscles to be really strong into your spine so you feel good, you feel confident, and your low back is supported. So in your boat pose, let's twist. You can do this with your feet down, okay? I want you to twist over to the left. Look over that left shoulder. Think about opening your arms wide here to give someone a hug. And bring it back through center. Inhale, look over that right shoulder, reach out, give a hug. Exhale, back to center. We're gonna do it a few more times, okay? Inhale on the left, twisting that beautiful spine. Exhale through center. Inhale to the right. And exhale through center. Let's do 3 more on each side. And you just kind of find a pace. You don't necessarily have to match my pace. I'm just holding space for you. Keep breathing. 2 more on each side. You feel that heat building in your core. One more on each side. All right, bring those twists back through center. Drop your feet if they were up. We're transitioning to hands and knees here. So just point your knees out to one side and flip it over to hands and knees. Come on through. All right, friends, in your very strong tabletop position, I'm hoping that you're really grabbing the floor with your hands. So you have a tiger claw grip with your hands. You have a soft bend in your elbows, and you're pulling those elbows inward toward each other, okay? You feel your upper body is engaged. Also, to support your best friend, your low back, I want you to have strong belly muscles that are lifting away from the floor, keeping that low back in a bit of neutrality. Okay, so we're gonna add something here to a normal cat-cow. We're gonna put a tail, so bring that right leg out behind you, bend the right knee, and point those right toes up at the ceiling. If you get a cramp, you can just extend the leg, okay? But I want you to keep your hips nice and level as much as you can. So with your inhale, think of pulling back with your hands. Pull back on those hands. Extend or arch your spine into a cow pose. Could you bring that right toe just toward the back of your head? It won't touch unless you're a circus performer, but go for it anyway. Okay, exhale, pull that right knee towards your nose. You're gonna do a crunch here. Nice, let's do it again. Inhale, right toe points at the back of your head, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose, pull that knee to your nose. Nice and simple, friends. Inhale, cow, put that tail in the air. Exhale, cat. 3 more, 3. Remember your long spine. Remember your belly muscles are supportive. 2. Last one. Nice, bring that knee in towards your nose and hold it there. Okay, little core challenge for you today, waking things up. If you need to drop the knee, go for it. But I want you to pick it up as high as you can. Stick it in towards your nose. Hold and breathe. Here comes a little balance challenge for you, just something fun. Put some extra weight in your right hand and spread those right fingers. Perhaps you want to reach forward with that left hand. Little extra balance. You can bend the left knee, that's the grounded knee, and point those left toes at the ceiling. So you're balancing on the left kneecap. Play with it. If you want to put a fingertip of the left hand down, you can do that too. Okay, I like to play with balance. One more big breath here. Balancing yogis. Try to come down calmly and slowly. Left knee, left hand, right knee. All right, tuck your toes. I'm going to get you off your hands and knees for a moment. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Find the downward facing dog here. Just kind of an informal one. And let's really walk those heels out. Pick one heel up as you smoosh the other one down and switch. Walk it out. So this is where you're going to notice your legs. If you have tension, they're going to talk to you here. That's okay. Just listen. Sometimes we can just listen to our bodies without having to fix or change anything. Just like we listen to our friends. Sometimes we just want an ear to listen. Okay, from your down dog shape, we're coming back to hands and knees. Come on through. Second side. Back on your hands and knees shape, spread those fingers wide and get the left leg up in the air. Okay. Remember, your hips are as level as they can be. We're trying to keep it really level in the left hip, but we want to support the low back with strong belly muscles. And of course, the upper body is engaging. So just like a cat-cow, here we go. Inhale, pull back on your hands, extend your spine. Find that left toe moving toward the back of your head in a cow shape. And exhale, push the floor away. Round that left knee towards your nose in a cat spine shape. Again, inhale, cow. Pull that toe towards your head. And exhale, cat. Let's take a few more. Inhale. And exhale. Finding some spinal movement here. Getting those arms and legs involved. 3. 2. Let's hold this one, okay? Hold this one. Bring that left knee in. Hold it. And breathe. So you could stay right here, okay? Option A. Now I'm just going to give you some things. I'm going to throw some stuff out there. You can balance on that left hand. Pick up the right hand. You can balance on that right kneecap. Try it out. Even if you put one fingertip of the right hand down, sometimes that helps. Woo. And it's okay if you lose your balance. As a matter of fact, I encourage it because then you kind of find out where the limits are. All right. Challenging yourself, maybe one more breath here as you balance. And then come down slowly with control. Right hand down, left knee down. Tuck your toes, lift those hips up and back, okay? Little downward facing dog. Now, if down dog is not your cup of tea today, you could keep on your knees or just put a little gentle lift in your knees. You don't have to pick those hips all the way up in the sky, but just something to give your legs a little break, okay? Something to give those legs a break. So down dog can always be replaced with a hands and knees position. You can do most things that we're going to do from down dog from your hands and knees. So feel free to mix that in there liberally. We're going to flow a little bit. Here we go. Inhaling here, let's get that right leg up in the sky. Send it high. Okay, you can do this with that bottom knee on the ground as well. Exhale here, send that right foot forward. See if you can step it outside the right hand. And you know what? If it takes more than one step, not a problem. Step it over there. And ground into your low lunge. So we're going to drop the back knee and come on down. Find a nice, comfortable low lunge. You could come up on your fingertips if you want to give your spine some extra space to be long. But I want you to really cultivate a long spine here. Okay. And then let's pull the hips back and forward a few times, kind of rocking hips back, hips forward. Just waking up those legs. Okay. And the more of a flex you put in that right ankle, the more of a dorsiflex you do so that your right toes are trying to touch your knee, the better calf stretch you'll get in that right leg. Okay. Come back forward into that lunge. Now I want you to really settle in, pressing down through the front foot, pressing down through that back knee. And if it feels good for you to leave the floor, use that right knee to press yourself up, right. So your ribs are now over your hips in your low lunge. So come on up and in. And remember, you can come down at any time if you need to. But I want you to activate your legs here. Push down into both legs. So we're always wanting to push that floor a little bit, staying active, and we're always pulling those knees in a little bit as well. So we're going to flow a little bit from here. Reach your arms up overhead. In your low lunge, push down into your legs. Take a big breath, lifting your heart up 1 inch. Maybe looking up if that feels good. With your exhale, drop those fingers under your shoulders. I like to do on either side of the right leg, but you might do inside. And pull your hips back here, pointing those toes at your nose, those right toes. So we'll do that a few more times, a little mini flow. Inhaling into your low lunge, drop that right foot, strong legs, all the hands reaching up. A little stretch for your front body. And exhale, fingers down. Under your shoulders, pull those hips back. Okay, so nice and slow, nice and gentle. Inhale up to your low lunge. And exhale down to your half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Okay. You want to wake those legs up, wake the shoulders up. 3 more, just like this. Just whatever pace feels nice for you. Okay, while you're moving, remember to keep the belly muscles strong. 2 more. One more, okay? One more. Come on up into that low lunge. Now hold and breathe. So this little lunge that we're in could be a really gentle lunge for you. You could put your hands down on the floor and just relax if that's what your practice is calling you to do today. I could, however, offer you some spicy options if you want to get a little warmer. You want to stretch out your legs maybe. You're going to tuck that back toe and hover that back knee just off the ground, maybe a little higher. Hold and breathe in your lunge. No matter where you are, no matter what kind of lunge, push down into your legs, pull those belly muscles strong, and lift that heart. Okay. Finding a really big shape, take up all the space here in your lunge. Nice warmth for those legs. One more big breath in here. Okay, if you had the back knee up, drop it. Drop those fingers as you exhale. Just like we did before, pull back to that half split, but this time we're gonna stay. So hold here, pulling those hips back, pointing those right toes at your nose. So if you need to slide that front foot forward, move your hands back, I want you to make little adjustments because I want you to be comfortable. Okay, but let's put a really good dorsiflex, a good right angle in that front ankle, the right ankle. And once you have that nice right ankle, kick down through that heel like you're trying to push the floor down. So there's a good calf stretch for you. And then you can bend the knee a lot to make this more gentle, the right knee. You can bend it a little if you want a little more stretch. But no matter where you are, start pulling back on that right hip. So the right hip wants to go back, back, back. Hold and breathe. What a great, great stretch for that whole right leg, the hamstring, the outer hip, calf. Okay, once you've settled into this half split here, okay, we're essentially taking just the right leg into a split. Let's play a little bit. Start to waggle and kind of windshield wiper the right toes to the right, and then point them over to the left. See what happens when we windshield wiper those right toes. Okay, so notice when you point the right toes to the right, you get a great stretch running across the outside of the leg, the IT band, the glute. When you point the toes to the left, you get more of an inner thigh stretch. So explore, be playful in your practice, adventurous, and always keeping those expectations low. You have more fun. Okay, if you like here, if you like the feeling of those right toes pointed out to the right, you can point them out there and just kind of pause them. Go ahead and walk those fingers out to the right as well. And keep breathing as you open up the outer edge of that right leg. So the outer edge of the right foot is down on the floor, toes pointing to the right. Continue to pull back on that right hip. Nice stretch in here today. We got nice and warm. Now we're going to do the opposite. Okay, so come on through center. Point those right toes over to the left here. Okay, so we're rolling onto the arch or the inside of the right foot. The toes are pointing to the left. Now you're going to good stretch along the inside of the leg. And if you want to, you can slide that foot out away from you a little bit and get a bigger stretch along that inner thigh. So you just, wherever you are, hold and breathe. Okay, one more breath here in your half split Ardha Hanumanasana. And then as you're ready, point those toes back at the sky. If you need to slide that foot back in towards you, go ahead and do it. And let's bend that right knee, plant that right foot back on the floor, ground your palms. We are back in a lunge, okay? We can just send that right knee back, back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes here, lift your hips and your knees, and walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Let's just hang for a moment. So take those feet wide, bend those knees really generously. You can even grab your elbows. You're just gonna sway here. Okay. With your belly very close to your thighs, you can allow your spine just to hang. So let your head go. I want to encourage you to give your hardworking neck a rest. Okay, as you're ready, we're coming right back down. So palms back to the floor. Walk it forward to hands and knees. Come on down. Okay, finding your grip here, you could stay on your hands and knees, or you could lift your knees and hips up to a downward facing dog. It's really whatever works best, friends. We're gonna do the other side. So inhaling here, let's get that left leg up in the sky. Exhaling here, step that left foot forward, step it outside your left hand, and come on down to your second side, low lunge. Right knee down, up on your fingertips, taking a moment just to settle into your lunge. So I want that long spine here. So get a nice long spine and start to move and kind of rock the hips back and forth. Just kind of free forming it. No real right way to do it. Okay, remember if you put that really nice dorsiflex, that nice right angle in your left ankle, then you'll get that great calf stretch when you pull back. So you can kind of modulate how you want that to feel. Okay, allow the left foot to come down now, and we'll settle into this low lunge a little bit more. So you're welcome to keep your hands down if this is how it's really feeling more comfortable to you today. But if you feel like you could come on up. I invite you to lift your rib cage up over your hips. So in your low lunge, it's tempting. I catch myself all the time. It's tempting to let your belly muscles relax and let your low back extend. Let's do the opposite. Let's keep the belly muscles strong, almost like you're trying to point your tailbone down at the ground. So keep a little protection in your low back. Okay, arms up in the air, strong legs, both feet pushing down, both knees pulling inward. Let's start to flow just like we did before. So inhaling, lift your gaze, maybe lift your heart, lift your hands, and exhale, fingers down under your shoulders. Pull back on that hip, like you wanted to shoot your left hip toward the back of your space. Now at the same time, see if you could move that right hip forward. And we'll take a few more just like that. Inhaling, low lunge, Anjaneyasana, big heart, long neck. And exhale, half split. Come on down and back. So I just want you to take a few more. We've done this before. We're staying low to the ground. Maybe you want to do it with your eyes closed, just kind of feeling where you are in space. Okay. Maybe 3 more. Your pace, up. And exhale down. 2 more, up. And down. Okay, so you could drop your hands if you need a little break here, but I want you to strengthen those belly muscles, wrap them strong inward, point that tailbone down, strong legs. Okay, if you want, you can drop, or you can keep that back knee down, or you can drop those back toes, tuck them under, and lift that back knee. Now that's gonna really warm your legs up, so that if you want a nice juicy leg stretch today, I want to encourage you to warm those legs first. And if that's not for you, you're just going to keep that back knee down. Keep breathing. Wherever you are, push that floor. Strong legs, strong lunge. One more big breath in here. And we're gonna move to that half split. So drop that back knee as you exhale. Drop those fingers under your shoulders. Pull those hips back to your half split and hold here. So shoulders are right over your fingertips. Okay, give yourself that long spine. I want that thing to be really long. And we can bend the left knee if we need to, okay? No problem. But flex that left ankle, kick down through that left heel like you're trying to push the floor away and pull back. Get that leg stretch. Hold and breathe. So if your legs are sore today, this is going to be maybe intense. So just stay with it. Remember, things you can do to make it more gentle are bending the knee more. Okay, you can bend that left knee more. If you like the stretch, I want you to extend the left knee, but always keep a little bend in it. Once you've settled in a little bit to this stretch, now we can start to play. Windshield wipering the left toes to the left and the right. Just kind of finding an internal rotation of the hip and then an external rotation of the hip. And as we do that, we're massaging the hip tissues. You might get some pops. Hopefully they're nice pops. Okay, notice when the toes point inward toward the right, we're getting an inner thigh stretch. When the toes point over to the left, we're getting an outer leg and hip stretch. Now let's play around with both. So once those toes point over to the left, again, hold it there. We're just gonna play. So you could just rest the outer edge of that left foot down. Keep it active. Keep pulling back with that left hip. Maybe walk your hands over to the left as well. Breathe. This is definitely one of those postures where you're going to feel the difference between side to side. Our left and right side are sisters, not twins, and they have a lot of little intricate differences. And it's okay to just notice that without feeling like you have to fix it. All right, bring this through center. Let's do the other side. Through center, we're going to point the toes, the left toes, over to the right now, allowing that inner thigh stretch to happen. Okay. Maybe if everything feels nice, you slide your left foot away from you, increasing that inner thigh space. Just hold and breathe. Keep pressing down in that left arch, pulling back on the left hip. One more big breath here. And let's bring it back to center. So walk those hands back to center. Find that lunge again. So we need to pull that left foot closer, maybe bend that left knee back in your low lunge. Let's bring it back through hands and knees here. Put those toes. Lift those knees and hips. We're going to walk the hands back to the feet again and just fold, just hanging really nice and easy. Ooh. Sway here, side to side. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Okay, find a really nice, soft bend in those knees for me. And then bend a lot more into the left knee, like so much more into the left knee. Ground that left hand or even just your left fingertips on the floor. We're gonna reach up with the right. Taking some time here just to breathe. Lengthen that spine. See if you could move the shoulders down away from your ears. I like to say, make a picture frame around your neck and face. You wouldn't want it to cut off right at your chin, would you? You'd want your portrait to include your neck. Do your best to stack that right shoulder on top of the left, even if you need to bend the knees a little bit more. Maybe looking up. Maybe one more breath here. Switching sides. Come through center here. Bend both those knees. Go ahead and fold. Take a moment. Let it go. And we'll switch sides gradually, bending a lot more into that right knee. You can still bend the left too, but bend a lot in the right. Right fingertips down in front of the right foot. Reach up with that left hand. Hold and breathe. It should feel really nice in that neck, but we want that long neck, okay? So put a slight tuck in your chin, like you're trying to hold something under your chin, and then lengthen those shoulders away from your ears. Maybe looking up if it feels right. One more big breath here. And bring it on down. All right, fold, shake it off. Ooh. Okay, palms are down here. We're gonna bend those knees, walk the hands forward. Okay, find yourself back on hands and knees. We'll keep going from here, okay? So let's get the toes tucked. You could either stay on hands and knees or you could go up to your down dog. Okay, whichever one is feeling good. If you want to stretch your legs out today, I'd say that down dog is going to feel really good. Walking the heels out. All right. Second side, or second set on the right side. So inhaling here, let's get that right leg up in the sky. Exhaling here, send that right knee forward. Go ahead and plant that right foot, again, outside your right hand. Outside the right hand, drop the back knee, very familiar. Coming up to your low lunge, again, on the right side. This time we'll add in a little twist. So if you wanted to stay low and stay grounded and keep it really gentle, you're gonna keep your hands on the floor for a bit, okay? If you're feeling spicy, you're up for the challenge, you're gonna come up to your low lunge. So you're pressing yourself up. Okay, go ahead and put your palms together and feel your strength. So really push your hands against each other, okay? Look at your arms, your strong biceps. Your arms are strong. So I want you to stay with that power. Make that picture frame around your neck. Make it nice and long. Let's take this left elbow and hook it on the outer right knee. Now, if it doesn't reach, not a problem. You just put your left hand on the floor, okay? Right hand on your right knee. Also a fantastic twist. So gentle option, left hand grounded. Spicy option, left elbow on that right knee. Wherever you are, hold and breathe. Stay in it. Make that long spine for me, okay? Make that long neck too. And let's see if we could get, if you have your hands together, let's see if we could put the hands closer to the heart and vice versa. Hold and breathe. Pushing down in those legs, push the earth away, pull the knees inward, hold and breathe. Really massaging your spine here. We're giving it a good wringing out, recalibration. Bigger the breath, the better. Maybe one more big breath here in your twisty lunge. As you're ready to let this go, spiral back through center, both hands down under your shoulders. Okay, take a look at that right foot. Remember how when we were doing that half split, we pointed the toes out to the right? Let's do that here, but let's keep the knee bent. So we're just spinning on that right heel, pointing the toes out to the right. Okay, we're gonna call this a lizard lunge. Make it nice and comfy. Once you're settled in, I want you to really press down into both of your legs. So remember to push against the floor in your lizard lunge. You could stay up on your hands if you want, okay? You could come maybe with a little bend in the elbows. Try that. Maybe you're coming down to one elbow today. Maybe you have one hand and one elbow, maybe two elbows. I want you to just kind of interpret it here and do what feels right. But push that floor. Hang that head with a long neck. Big breath here into that right hip. The whole right leg, even up into the calf, the hamstring, and your neck is getting a nice release here as well. Lizard lunge. Letting any extraneous tension here just melt off of your back. Think of it just dripping down to the floor like raindrops off your back. Maybe one more breath here in your lizard lunge, just sinking in, enjoying those long holds where we really get to do the good work. All right, there's no rush, okay? But I want you to start making your way out. If you came down to your elbows, start coming back up on your hands, no rush. Okay, swing that lizard leg all the way back to hands and knees. Come on back. Tuck your toes, lift your hips and knees. Walk your hands back to your feet. Again, folding here. Now we're a bit warmer, so you might enjoy just taking your hands to your calves, like you're trying to hold on to your calves. Make sure those knees are nice and bent, and you might just hug your legs and sway. Okay, if you can easily reach your toes, maybe with a bend in your knees, you might loop your thumb and your bunny fingers around each big toe. Okay, and you could point your elbows out to the side to bring yourself deeper into the fold, stretching out your legs, releasing your back body. Okay, as you're ready, coming back down to do the second side. Palms are down, walking it forward to hands and knees. Now stay right here, or if you're feeling spicy, pop it up for a momentary down dog, stretching out your feet, stretching out your legs, pushing that floor away. Okay, left side. Inhale, left leg up in the sky, send it up. And exhale, send that left foot forward. See if you could drop it outside the left hand. It's okay if it takes a couple steps too. Drop the back knee. Okay, we're gonna twist. So remember that gentle twist version with the right hand on the ground and the left hand on the left knee. You could just do gentle twist today if you're feeling more like that. But if you're feeling pretty good, I want you to come on up, use that left knee to press up, low lunge. Get your strong base. Our legs are so important here. Push down into both of them, pull those knees inward. We want them on the clock. Palms together. Feel your strength. Push. Feel that upper body turn on. Okay. Let's twist. Let's take that right elbow to the outer left knee. Just try it out. If it doesn't reach, you know you can just put the right hand on the floor, left hand on the left knee, and look to the side. I'm going to spin around to face you here, but we are in the same position. All right, holding and breathing. Maybe this is our second side. Maybe you close your eyes. Ooh, it's a little wobbly, but just embrace it. Okay, make that long spine for me. Make that picture frame neck. And then see if you could pull the hands a little closer to the heart and vice versa. Holding and breathing with whatever comes up. Remember, the bigger the breath here, the better. We want to expand that rib cage, expand the belly, make it all move. Recalibrating, massaging your spine, just wringing it out. Maybe one more big breath here in your twist. Come out slowly here, dropping those hands underneath your shoulders, preparing for lizard pose. All right, so just take a look at that left foot. We're going to keep the heel down, just spin on the heel, point the toes over to the left, and then drop them. So external rotation of the left hip. Okay, you can kind of vary it, make it a little shallower if you want to. But once you get those toes pointed out, I want you to press down into both legs. So activate the stretch. So important that we activate our stretches. You can stay upright. Okay, I'd like you to have a long neck wherever you choose to be. So just make that neck long, please. And then maybe you bend the elbows. Maybe you come down to one elbow today, maybe two. There's no right way to do it, friends, except the one that feels real good. You can let your head hang. Remember to keep the legs active, pushing down. If you notice your shoulders squinching up by your ears, I just caught myself. You got to pull them down. Okay. One more big breath here. Lizard lunge. Externally rotating that left hip. Should feel good. And take your time. There's no rush, but start to make your way back up. So coming back up on your hands if you were on your elbows. Okay, swing your lizard leg back to hands and knees. One more fold. Okay, one more. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, walk your hands back to your feet, folding one more time. Take a moment here, just kind of swaying. Notice if the backs of the legs feel any softer. Hopefully we made some space in there. Hopefully we made some space in the shoulders too. Okay, speaking of shoulders, I have a really yummy shoulder stretch ahead for us. So let's just dive in. Go ahead and drop those palms. You can bend your knees, walk it forward, to hands and knees again. But then I want you to keep going so that you come all the way down to your belly. Come on down. All right, belly is grounded. Take your arms out into a cactus shape with your palms down. Just rest your palms, rest your forehead, and take a moment. Okay, I call this floor cactus. Just make your floor cactus. So your elbows are at just about right angles. Okay, I'll try to use my words so you don't have to look because you're on the floor. So your elbows are at about right angles and their elbows are just about level with your shoulder, okay? But as we move into this stretch, I want you to be really sensitive with adjusting the angle and the elevation of your elbow. In other words, if something is uncomfortable, you can make your elbow angle smaller, like you can bring your hand closer to you, right? You can make that angle smaller. And you can also move the elbow up away from your feet or down towards your feet. So feel free to adjust. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Look over to your left hand and use your left hand to roll onto your right side. Now you're going to keep your right side cactus arm as you roll onto that right side. Okay. So you can make this really gentle, but once you feel good about it, you're going to tuck that right knee under. So it's like a little kickstand. Okay. And on the right, you can't see my right arm, but I'll show you. It's on the floor in that right angle. And so you're getting into that front of the right shoulder, the right chest, and the right armpit. So make sure you do some adjustments if it's uncomfortable. Okay. Once you're ready to commit, close your eyes. Make that long neck. Okay. You can just rest the left leg, rest the top leg, just to kind of get it out of the way. And focus your awareness on that right armpit space, shoulder space. And now here comes the good stuff, my friends. Here comes the good work. We are in this stretch. We need to be sure to not be passive in our stretch. We need to be active. So gently press the floor down with that right hand. Hold and breathe. Right? It doesn't have to be a lot of strength, does it, to be effective? So push down in that right hand. Hold and breathe. Feeling some big sensations of release in that right shoulder, chest, and armpit. Feels good. You can push harder if you want more release. You can push very softly if you need a gentle release. But you are the boss. Okay, you know your body. Modulate. The deeper you breathe here, the better, as you're moving all that chest tissue from the inside. I think I could stay in this stretch forever, but for our purposes today, let's just take one more really nice big breath here. Push that floor with that hand. Okay, there is no rush, but take your time extending that bottom leg and rolling back onto your belly. Now take a moment with your forehead on the floor. Do the cactus arms, do the floor cactus. Let all the blood rush back into that right arm. Okay, should feel nice. Now we'll do the left side. So look out to the right and use your right hand to roll onto your left side. So this time, if you needed a visual reference, you can see my left elbow is bent. And I'm going to adjust it to where it feels just right. I'm going to move it to where the elbow is at the right angle and it's at the right height. Then I'm going to commit by tucking my left knee up and in and rest that top leg. Just let it be lazy and soft. And hold and breathe. So if you need to back out at any time, you just roll your chest back toward the floor and it's a lot less intense. All right, I'm going to spin around again to face you, but we are in the same position. Left side shoulder stretch. Okay, once you're there, you're settled in, you're comfortable. I want you to activate that stretch. So press down into that left hand like you're trying to push the floor gently. Breathe. This is a nice time to just close your eyes. Just enjoy the feelings that your practice has stirred up. Right, remember, the more you push that floor, the more release you might feel in the left shoulder. So modulate accordingly. One more. Really nice, long, slow breath here. Also a really nice twist in this pose. A little gentle twist for your spine. Okay, take your time extending that bottom leg. Come through your cactus pose. Take a moment. Let all the blood rush back into your left arm. Notice how it feels. From here, friends, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press it up and back to hands and knees. And come on back through a child's pose with your toes together. Okay, sitting on your heels. Come on back. You can have your knees wide. You can have your knees narrow. Drop that head. So child's pose will be our resting pose today. That's just where I'm going to land. However, if you want to flip over on your back and do a more classic Shavasana where you're lying down, then that's good too. I want you to just get comfortable for a few minutes, okay? Any position that you can breathe deeply in and close your eyes and just focus on the moment unfolding, just like it is. Watch your breath. Return to a soft, slow, natural pace. Let your body soften and any remaining tension just melt off onto the floor. And of course, I want you to rest for as long as you can, as long as you need. In general, the longer, the better. So I have given you permission to take a nap if you needed some permission. But this is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for practicing with me, friends.